What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the AJC, your channel dedicated to La Vecchia Signora, the best damn club in Italy, all right? And it is match day. It's Coppa Italia, and Motta taking no chances, going all in. It looks like it. We're ready to tackle that. Get ready for this game today. And, of course, everything in the news. We got a little bit of everything. We got some transfer rumors. We got some injury talk. We got some kit reviews. Oh, yeah. We're going to have some fun. I got Omer. I got Skanga. Fellas, how you doing? Well, the Germany kit. Omer, it's anti-bullying day. Pink. Okay. But that's okay.
Yeah, I opened my closet and I have nothing in pink. It's literally black and white.
Yeah.
Black for work, white for events. That's it.
There you
So
go,
you
man.
went with the German kit.
Life is a
Solid.
matter of black and white.
Yeah.
Nothing says anti-bullying like a German kit. Skanka, how you doing, brother?
I got nothing to add. On we go. Perfect.
On we go. On we go. Listen, the news. We start off Douglas Luiz, because this one actually does legit have me fired up. All the numbers are out there. Everybody's got torsion rings on the back there. TFC in the house there. Yeah, this injury thing, the latest with him. So it's been confirmed there is a muscular injury now a month out for him. He had not suffered an injury since the 21-22 season. He had 16 stoppages in total of his career. Professionally, like 4 or 5 stoppages. And he's seen 16 already this season with Juve. Giuntoli's taken heat for this guy and this thing, but like, I'm just looking at this thing a lot deeper because it's an ongoing thing forever that we've always discussed, and that is J Medical. So I'm going to get your guys' thoughts on the whole thing with Luis. First up, just going to quickly say as we lead things off with that, what's up, everybody in the chat? We got Madden here, Dragons8, Tuna, Adam Khan, Alex Juve, buongiorno ragazzi, Forza Juve today. We're going to have a lot of fun, but welcome, everybody. Drop a like, and let's get into this. Skanga, Luis, latest to go down, a month. Thoughts?
So I will say before we start with the pink jersey, did you mention it's anti-bullying day? So that's the pink jersey. And I would like to say the Army has always been good at, we disagree. People disagree. But we haven't seen a lot of bullying in there, so we appreciate it. We like your takes, even though some of them are shit. We still, respect everyone's opinion.
Take it easy.
I'm not bullying.
I did have to intervene a couple times, but everybody responded really, really well. We always say challenge the takes, not the people. Always show respect. That's one of the main things why we started this damn thing was because some people were trying to get silenced out there by other platforms, and we said no. Everybody's got a say, and every opinion matters. So there you go. Lovely start there, Skanga.
Yeah.
Now.
Well, the German kit threw me off. The Douglas Luiz thing. I don't think there is a debate on the skill level of this player, and I think a lot of us will admit that he has the skills to succeed in this league. He has the talent. We've seen flashes of it, but that's what he's being judged on, flashes. So is that? But you just threw out the stats of how often he hasn't been injured. There's something going on. This has been ongoing since I've been on this show for like 4 or 5 years. It needs a complete overhaul. We've never heard of an overhaul. We heard of like the head of J Medical getting changed once, but this is wild how this happens. And this is a perfect example to say, look at this player, look at his history, look at where he is now. Is it the field? Is it because we've had different managers, right? But maybe it's the facilities. Has everyone ever thought maybe it's the field itself? Could be. I don't know. I have no idea. It's a shame because I had high hopes for this guy, especially Lou. Lou pumped this guy up before he arrived. And I was really looking forward to him.
Yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, so 22 appearances this season, 6 of them were starts. No goals, no assists, 795 minutes played, 13 games missed. It's rough. There's no denying it. As far as our team as a whole, you've accumulated 24 to 25 injuries. You've reached double digits. I believe it's 11 or 12 injured players that have returned and had to be delayed and go back on the shelf. There's something not right. Finally, media has asked, but they're asking generally. They're asking in general. They're just putting out posts. They're just putting it out there that what exactly is going on, but nobody's actually questioning the people that matter, that are there. And anytime this has come up, Motta brushes it off immediately, just stating all teams deal with injuries. That's it. Nobody wants to talk about maybe we have something that we could improve on and do better. Because I get it from Motta's perspective, but as a club, something's going on because this is well before Motta's time. He just got here, for God's sakes. So I don't really know where to go with this thing, but it's infuriating that a guy that comes in, and the reason I'm bringing this up so much is because we're looking at a guy like Zhigrova. And I've gotten in constant arguments with people because his injury-riddled season this year, he's already missed 24 matches this season alone, okay?
Perfect for us.
And I'm thinking, why on earth am I rushing to sign this guy for whatever it is, 30 million, 35, when he's coming off that season, and I can't trust us on a guy that hasn't had an injury since 2021. Like, this is why I'm looking at big picture J Medical and what the hell's going on. And we've seen it time and time again.
Look at Kalulu. He was supposed to be out 3 weeks. Now it's going to be like 5 or 6. What the hell are we talking about here?
It's everything. It's recovery times. Our recovery times are longer than practically everyone out there when somebody does go on the shelf. When they do come back, I just gave you the numbers. We're at 11 or 12 times they have to go back on the injured shelf for re-aggravation or whatnot, or not ready, etc. It's just frequency. Something's up. Omer.
Yeah, I want to focus. We've talked about J Medical a lot. I want to focus on Douglas Luiz and his transfer in and of itself is, I mean, if you go into the summer looking at the stats before he reached Juve, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
Great player, did everything. I mean, no one would have predicted that he's going to be a bad purchase because of his injury history or whatever. So that's why people are mostly furious. Most of the cases against him is the price tag, and he can stay healthy and a lot of that, which is true. To be honest, it's frustrating. I don't know if it's his fault. You guys just discussed J Medical. It might not even be his fault. I don't think he's training harder than he did in the Premier League. So that's one aspect. The other aspect is on the pitch. Now, on the pitch, we didn't really use him. Like, we didn't really benefit from him. It's not like that now he's out, we're missing something except for rotation. 0 goals, 0 assists, very few appearances. I mean, I'm not that angry that he's out. He can be out for the rest of the season, for all I care, because we didn't bank on him now, and we're not going to bank on him for the rest of the season. Nothing has changed. I am looking, into next season. I'm hoping he can turn it around and be a useful player for Juve. But those are the two things: the transfer in and of itself, the money and everything, and his performances on the pitch. And on the pitch, I don't think we'll miss him.
Do you think he's here next year, Omer?
Might be. I mean, there were some rumblings in January. Man City were interested, and some other. I mean, if it's a trade for someone, even to Chelsea for Vega or something to get Tonali in an impossible way, absolutely, he's not a must stay for me, and there's no arguments to him being a untransferable player.
I think it would be hard for any of us to say, like Skanga, if we were offered an opportunity out in the summer to make a move, would you take that reset?
Yes. Unfortunately, Omer said it perfectly. Like, he's not right. We're not losing anything, which is unfortunate. I think the three of us agree it's unfortunate. We wish we had better results from him, but yeah, if we can break even, from it
Yeah.
on the books or trade for another player, I don't think anyone's
You
gonna.
know, Forza Juve's standing firm. I'm still 100% Luis in. There are some, there's been signs there that the eye test gives you that there's something. There's people trying to put out some statistics there that, it isn't all that bad with Douglas Luiz. He's in some type of count for carries and everything, or dribbles, or some type of advancement out of the midfield that we don't get out of other players outside of Kefren Turam. But it's all kind of grasping at straws, right? It's successful take-ons for players with at least 10 of them, and he's at 76.9%, ahead of Guendouzi, Soleil, etc. And he's played the least amount of minutes of the three players, but it's not translating to much for us on the pitch. These are stats that are kind of empty for me. And I mean, the take on, where is the take on happening? Is it a quick half turn, getting out of our just like half there, etc.? There's not a bunch there. And I mean, let's get him back into the mix and see, because things can always change. If he gets a good run, right now, we haven't seen him been able to get any type of rhythm or momentum for himself to really show us what he can offer. It's just been this hit and miss stuff, and too few and far between. So it's very difficult. If you're basing it off now, for me, if we had an out, I'd probably take it depending on what it is. But that can change if he can get continuity. But if he can't, my God, I start to get nervous if we can even break even and get a reset, right? So that's a big thing, and that's why J Medical is critical. Sort it out, for the love of God. Now,
one here, I'm pretty sure it was Alex Juve. One of the, I'm sorry, I didn't remember who put it. Said, we haven't seen anybody from J Medical come up to a microphone.
Yeah,
let's get some answers.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't hurt. We brought and I see another comment from Matt there saying that in 2019 we got the new staff, and we didn't get new staff. We got one new head director that was like to be hands-on with training and hands-on with the group. I can't remember his name, but that's all that had really changed, and it was all focused on muscular injuries and whatnot, but like nothing ever really changed. It kind of like stayed the same. It went down a little bit, I believe, last year, but it's really ultimately still bad. And our recovery times are slow and drawn out. I mean, I would love to get some answers. I don't know why they have to just stay in silence with everything. But nonetheless, here we are. Venezia signs permanently Hans Nicolucci Caviglia. In the corner of a little cafe sat a little Frenchman there, crying in tears, falling into his little frappuccino there, and that's Luca Natale there, crying over this one. 4.5 million euros done, 10% buyout or a sell-on clause for Juventus. Man, I would have liked to see a little bit better of a fee, but I guess it is what it is. Any other feelings on this one with the deal being done now?
Good for him. The guy is not. He would not have found place in the team this season. However, he slice it. He still has a career ahead of him. I'm happy he's doing fine, relatively fine at Venezia. Still young, long career ahead of him. He can climb up the ranks and make it to a bigger team. But yeah, gotta let go. Gotta let go. Can't hold on to those guys.
Would you have rather had him than Luis this season, or either one would have had? They would have had the same impact.
That's like in hindsight. They probably would have had. No, I don't know. I can't tell you.
I don't think it would have been.
I mean, yeah, it's you're asking now. In the beginning of the season, would have been 100% Luis.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the summer, it would have 100% been Luis as it was. But I still said on some of the moves, like, and that was one of them. I mean, could probably get a little bit more than that. Like, it's really, really light on the price on the fee. Low. That's the only thing. I'm not hard done by. I'm not shooken up over saying goodbye to Hans. Yeah, he's doing good, but again, Venezia, etc. Like, it's just non-comparison. The stuff that he showed with us, again, going back to the summer, I would pick the guys that were coming in over him.
10%
and I still stand firm. It's up to Motta to get the most out of the guys he has. I think he's got it good on paper. It's time to make it count on the pitch. Funny enough, we brought this up last show. It's like, when can you think of a season? Like, we're only 8 points out of the top. We know it's highly unlikely and stuff, though. But the fact that we're in it after the way things are going right now this season, I can't think of a Scudetto where a coach was like taking this much heat and flack come almost March, and maybe something can happen.
Sorry?
I can't think of it. So it's kind of wild.
Sorry took a lot of heat, didn't he?
Sarri took a lot of heat, but not this much. Everybody was kind of like, oh, you know what? Let's give him a summer, etc. Like, I don't think anybody anticipated him getting fired even after winning it.
But we were in first place like the entire season. Eventually, we won by 1 point, but more complaints were about the aging roster, and again, a lot of injuries. Chiellini had his ACL, and we saw a lot of Demiral in that season. And yeah, the team was aging. Like, our midfield was Matuidi, Khedira, and Pjanic. I didn't like Sarri personally, just as a person. I didn't think he fit Juve, but he did win the Scudetto, so credit to him.
Yeah. Now, done with kind of Hans. Rumor hits the rumor mill there on old Anthony being eyed up by Juventus, and we are entering a race. A race?
For who?
I don't think there's been a race for anyone named Anthony other than at the pickleball courts there, because they just want somebody that's less than 65 years old when Skanga shows up. I think that's it. I think that's the only race for an Anthony I've seen, but
Taken. Yep.
take it. Hypothetically, is anybody here a yes for the play? I'm a no, obviously. Omer, are you a yes for him, hypothetically?
For who? Who are we talking about? Anthony. No, absolutely not.
Is he the Brazilian guy who plays in
Yes.
England for Tottenham?
Yeah.
Man, you.
Oh,
Well, he did. Now he plays for Betis. I just don't like his play style, the way he plays, those idiotic turns he does on the pitch. It's a play thing. It has nothing to do with his personality or whatever. Just don't like that style of players.
Yeah.
didn't he just have like one good half World Cup and then that was it?
Well, now he's injured for a long time. Well, not that long.
There's just nothing there that excites me whatsoever about this guy, or ever has. I'll be quite honest.
And the wingers again.
Trey.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Exactly.
And the wingers. Yeah.
Trey
Yeah.
is correct. I'm thinking of that guy. Richarlison.
Richarlison. Oh my god.
That's the guy I'm thinking of.
That's who you were thinking of.
Yeah.
The pigeon.
I'm thinking of little Mario. Come on.
Richarlison's a step up on Anthony too. I'd go as far to say, my God, and they're both train wrecks. Yeah, no, it's a hard pass. We're all kind of hard pass. There are some out there that said they would take him, and I said, well, yeah, good on you. Definitely not for me. And this push for wingers in the links. What the hell? Well, who knows what the hell's going to happen, but today we get a rumor that Chelsea's ready to come in for 80 million euros on Kenan Yildiz. And I saw a comment that said...
Sold.
I saw a comment that said, sold, give me 80 million and Renato Vega and the deal is done. Are you selling him for 80 million?
Yesterday.
No, I'm just joking. What's that, Omer?
No, absolutely not.
Oh,
Absolutely no. That's a hard no.
I'd have to think about it. I joke about. I don't think we can sell him for 80 million. I don't think we can do that.
Swarit says easily sold. 80 million, yes for me, to be honest, from Joaquin. Alex Juve saying no. Adam Khan saying no. 90 million Vega and a 15% sell on. You taking that deal, gentlemen?
See tuna. See tuna's coming out. That's some good business. That'd be good business.
Dude,
Anything below 100, I'm not even approaching the table. I'm
I
not showing
think
Yeah,
guys anything.
Yildiz is peanuts on the book. Like that's 80
oh, it's
million pure
pure. It's
profit.
pure
Yeah.
profit. I mean,
Mhm.
and then we are
I want
definitely
100.
getting relegated. But I'm telling you, like this guy, I don't know, like the jump from last year to even this year in his game, like just his game, don't worry about like output per se,
Mhm.
is massive. The talent is there. He's incredible. I don't know for 80 mil even because here's my thing. And I've been saying it the whole way. You're going to clash now this summer because you're practically home free with the books. So you're not
Mhm.
in this mode where you absolutely have to. Now all of a sudden the sporting side has to look at it. But
Mhm.
here's where it gets tricky. 80 million a per pure profit goes a long way in even building your team. Like
Okay, let's add another layer to it. After you
Mhm.
do that, 80 million plus Vega, you use the money to get Tonali.
dude, you could
Do
get
you do it?
Tonali and two more if you wanted to.
Tonala.
Um that's
Yeah.
that's tough. If they're gonna throw, they would throw in Vega, and I still need to see more of Vega. Like it sucks that he got hurt. I like what I saw early on, but man, what's the actual details? 80 mil plus Vega and a sell on? That's tough. That's tough to
Yeah,
walk
I'm
away
like,
from.
let's talk about it in July.
But I'm gonna be quite honest. My gut is telling me not to move this guy. Definitely not yet. And like I said, I don't think we're going to be a situation where we have to. If it's
I
a
agree.
crazy offer, we're getting close to that 100 mil, that 90 mil. I honestly don't think anyone's coming in for that price. And this rumor with Chelsea at 80 million euros, I don't see it happening. That's me personally. I don't see it going down. I don't think we'll get offers that high. I think you might see some 50 to 60s for him. And at
Yep.
that money, I hope Juve would say no. Because I would say no at anything around 50 to 60 on Yildiz. So let's see. Because we do got to focus on the sporting side and make sure we have a strong roster and moving forward with the best available. And I'm going to say it right now. We were just talking about Anthony. Like Adeyemi, even Jagrova, etc. All these guys don't really entice me to sell Yildiz. They don't. If that's what's on
Right.
the flip side at the winger spot, I'm not going crazy to move him for just that profit to bring in one of those guys. Like good players, but nothing that like I think in that amount of time at that age, Yildiz will surpass these guys that we're talking Anthony, Adeyemi, etc. Like I have no doubts about it. So I look to keep.
But that's like a lower bracket of wingers. Like there are better options out there.
Sure.
That's
Would
what's
we chase them?
infuriating about it.
Would we
I
chase
don't
them?
think we need to, but if we do sell Elders in the market for a winger, those are not the names I want to see.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
they
I
Talk
think
to
might
me
look
about.
that route because it costs a hell
Mhm.
of a lot less.
when you look at the players, like speaking of just like how the fans react, Sule, 25 million out. You see some rumblings there, but whatever. Sule, Houston. Whatever happened to Houston? I thought he was going into the World Soccer Hall of Fame last month. Oh, yeah, that's right. He dropped off, didn't he? Anyways, Rovella, Hans Nicolucci, right? You can kind of be like, I can see
You're
why we sold them.
you're such an
If they
old fart.
sold Yield, there's going to be riots. There will be riots.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yildiz is the one guy head and shoulders I've said all along. But like
Agreed.
the Hoyson one bugged me, but I could make sense. And I was like, okay.
Right.
But like I wanted to see him stay. I think Tony, you
Yes.
did too. We wanted to see Hoyson stay, but Yildiz right now, I'm like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Rovella. Oh man, we had the Rovella hive going. One of the best mids in Serie A this season. Maybe we might have made mistakes on some of the guys we kept around. Looking back on how things played with Fagioli, etc. Moretti
I'm
always
just
needed a
saying.
loan, but we had to get
I'm
by.
just
It is
saying
what it is.
the
Berto,
blowback from the fans would be different.
You think we have good chance at getting Tonali? I have no idea. All right.
I don't think we have a good chance at all.
I
I don't.
think there's a chance, but
I don't think it's happening this summer. I think he needs to be closer to the end of his contract to even talk to us. We can't match the salary. The price tag is too high. He's a born Milan fan. I mean, it just doesn't add up.
there's a lot against it, which makes me think it's happening. There's just so much against it that it's going to happen. It's kind of like OJ that got off free. There was so much against him that Orenthal James ended up walking out of that courtroom. And you know what? There's so much against this move. It just might happen.
By the way, another bit of news. Paratici is coming back to Milan, possibly in July. Coming
So
to
they
ruin
say.
Milan.
Yes.
So they say. So they say.
Everyone's
Listen,
getting landlines.
FFP.
this guy makes. What is he taking home? This year, he's taken home 6.2 million pounds gross.
What's that, like 8 million euros?
So I think that's
A little bit
8
higher.
million and a bit euros. And that is definitely in our wheelhouse.
So
That's
whenever
in our
there's like smoke
Let's see.
around players like this in the past with Juntali, whenever you're like, oh, yeah, Coop miners, the same thing. Douglas Luiz, this time of year, these are sort of our targets in the summer. They've all been true. I'm just saying, I think there's been enough smoke around this. I think they're kicking the tires to bring this player back.
I think the biggest thing is if we can incorporate somebody in the deal or we get a big sale over and above potentially Cambiasso and whatever happens with Dusan. Dusan wants the Prem. That's the latest rumors. He wants the Premier League. We're hearing 25 million euros is the sale. Okay. The price that we're willing to accept. But there's also a lot of rumors. And I said this yesterday. I said, don't jump on everything because there's a lot of rumors and outlets that are claiming we want 40 million euros, which I think is actually where we should be on Dusan. It's 40 million right now based on all things considered. But for shits and giggles, because some people are still fighting the good fight for our man Dusan, if you could correct the wages, which is the big problem, and you're looking at selling so low to the point where you might only get 5 to 10 million in capital, is anybody still on the side of looking to keep him if that was the case and square up the renewal? Like maybe if you could fix that contract and get the salary where you need it to be, does anybody want to keep this guy around as an alternative to Kolomuani or whoever the heck you want to bring in as striker?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, I mean, if we fix the salary and we don't get a whole lot from selling him either, I mean, we still need to fill that role. God knows what happens to Milik. And Kolomuani is still like a lone player. We don't have a deal for him. We don't have even pre-agreement or whatever for his purchase. So that's gonna be a lot of money. And if you let Dusan go and no Milik and you sign Kolomuani, you still need to fill the gap of second striker. You go next gen? Absolutely not. This season has proved that we need depth and a lot of depth, especially in striker role. So if you fix the salary and tell him, look, you're not the main guy, the project or whatever is not around you, you're part of the team. You'll play when we see fit and you won't play when someone else plays. Then fine. If Dusan wants to be the star somewhere, then Juve is not the place. I think that ship has sailed.
Yeah. And obviously we understand that maybe he does want out. Maybe he wants changes. We're bringing up the hypothetical to see where if people are completely done with him, okay? Because there's also the comments that he doesn't want to be second fiddle. Tuna put in there, and yeah, he probably doesn't. But if he was willing to, and willing to fix that renewal, would you keep him around if the salary was good and everything? I'd be hard pressed to say no if we brought the salary reasonable, which has been the major issue with this guy, and him not having to be the main man. I don't know if I'd necessarily be rushing to say goodbye. It would depend on what's on the backside. But Skanga, what do you think?
1,000% you keep him if you lower that salary. The hell are we even talking about here? He might have to be the backup, or he needs someone to compete with him, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't been pushed. Now he's got someone pushing him. I think he's scored in 2 of his last 3 games or whatever, 2 of his last 3 outings.
The funny thing is,
maybe that's what he needs.
His numbers are pretty much the same for minutes per goal, like et cetera, like with Fiorentina. Like they're just close in terms of his output. His output and the chances are down. This year, chances are down more so than last year. And he had no help because Milik is in the Bermuda Triangle. So, like, even fatigue has to kick into it. We're making excuses for guys that have had rest and stuff like that. This guy never had any rest for a while until he had opportunities to do so. We were using Weah up top there every now and then just to give him a breather. I don't know. But I will say this. I wouldn't be upset if we did it, if he was willing to work that renewal. But if there's a name willing to come in, like the one that excites Omer, that excites myself, like Seshko, I probably would go that route and still do it. But if we're going to make
it's a money question.
Yes.
What's that?
Those guys, it's a money thing. Eventually, either one of those names is a lot of money. Even Osimhen. Like Napoli are not going to budge 75 million. There goes your budget. Yeah. There goes probably Cambiasso. I mean, there are repercussions to buying a top tier striker. And are we in that position to afford that? Is the situation that bad?
Yeah.
It might be, but Colomwani is going to cost some money. I don't know how much we're going to have left for an Osimhen or a Šeško.
But
he's going to cost a lot of money.
Of course. All signs are pointing to a goodbye. Business decision probably coming up for all parties. And the break probably makes sense for absolutely everybody. But it's interesting to look at fans' takes if we knock off one of the big hits against the man, right? It's just interesting. Now, before we get into, of course, Coppa Italia match today, Empoli, Juve, we got to rate these kits. The 25-26 Juventus kits have been put out as far as the leaks go. They are slightly altered from the promotional materials we saw earlier on. And I get a lot of questions. Is this what we're going to see? Yeah, this is pretty much it. There might be some small fine-tuning, but nothing that changes them drastically. This is what you can expect to see. And here we go. We start off with the wrong screen. Home kit. All right. So
you called this a UPC code. I don't know.
Is this just to get people scanned through checkout quicker because they're just going to scan the actual kit because it looks like a fucking barcode.
Yeah, I don't like it.
Yeah,
and
I
the
know
pink. This is what drives me nuts. The crest for Juve is in pink over white, and you can barely see the thing.
Okay, so you guys said the other day, or whenever it was last week, I said Nike makes the best kits. This is what you get with Adidas right here.
Yeah, but Adidas overall, their bangers have been better than the Nike bangers.
Bullshit.
No chance.
I strongly disagree.
Okay.
Well, I know you're the kit guy. But the Nike ones always stick out.
And Nike's had some terrible ones too. The lime green, the neon green garbage, whatever that they had there. Like they've had the Nonna's Corona pink one in 04. Come on, they've had junk. So their black one too, which was fantastic with the Sul Campo.
Yeah.
That's great, but that doesn't top the black and gold 15-16 for me. 15-16 black gold is taken. That's Adidas. If you go best
this one
home kit, what's the best Nike home kit?
You're asking the wrong guy. I need to bring it up.
0506 probably sticks out. That one was phenomenal. Shitty sponsor, Tamoil, but great kit.
I got that one.
Great kit. 03 was not. That was another one I thought was fantastic. That wasn't even Nike. That would be Lotto in that range. Yeah. So for Nike, it's that, or you get into what, 14, 15 people like heavy black collar. I don't know. 17, 18 home. Beautiful. Adidas. One of the best. And Adidas gave us the 120 anniversary, which was fucking unreal.
I don't know. It kind of seems like they shoved that pink down our throats. It seems like it has nothing to do with the shirt, the colors. It just doesn't sit well with me. No
I don't like
regular
these
stripes.
collars. Like, I think this
No.
collar setup on this home is brutal. Like,
Yeah.
I don't like it. I don't like it. And when you put pink over white, you can't even see it. So to do it to our crest and put the skinniest black line out of the barcode there drives me crazy. It's like a 6 out of 10 for me, lads.
Oh, it's lower.
What did you say? 15,
It's lower than
16
that.
home? Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's a 2 for me.
It's a
Just-
2 from you. Wow.
Yeah, I'm
Skanga,
not
what are you
going to
rating
buy
this
that
home
shirt.
kit?
I don't like this. I think this is my least favorite of the three.
Really?
Yes.
Definitely not my least favorite, but yeah. So the chat's going 4.
So what's your least favorite, Berto?
Well, I'll bring it up. I'll bring it up right now. This thing is a glorified piece of shit, boys.
Yeah.
Number
kinda
one.
like it.
Number
J for
1.
Jizz.
This is
Omer.
not
God
even
damn.
our tone of blue. This is Lazio friggin' blue. That's just number 1 to start, okay? Number 2, it looks like something Bonnie Blue wore when she got the record with the patterns of stains all over this thing,
You
okay?
Son of a bitch. No.
It
Stop
looks like that's what she wore when she broke that record she was going for because it's got like that garbage all over. It looks like jizz stains. It's terrible. This is terrible. The pattern's awful. This is a joke.
We
this is a
talked
2.
about this in the green room. We talked
This
about this
is
in
a
the green
2.
room, but we wouldn't use that word.
This is a glorified
Yeah.
training kit or a goalie kit at best.
Yeah,
We'll call
so
this the semen away. All right? I like that there, Kaushik, okay? The semen kit. It's terrible. I'm giving it a 2. I'm giving it a 2.
Can you zoom in on that picture? Can you like zoom in? Are you
Well,
able to make it
sure.
bigger
I
or no?
mean, I don't know if the patterns will come out. Like,
Oh yeah.
it's terrible. Okay, so yeah, you can faintly see those stains there from a hard
Dave.
evening's work by
This is a
Bonnie.
family show. This is a family
Um,
show.
Yeah, I apologize there, but I can't stress enough how garbage this is, 2. And that's being generous.
If
Yeah, it's kind of
I give the
a-
home, yep.
It's kind of a nothing kit for me. It's just not something I'm going to buy or own in any way.
Yeah.
Just
It's making that home
I-
kit look pretty damn
I don't
good,
wanna
though, I'll
say it.
that.
they're both shit.
So Skanga, you like this. You like this kit.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I don't know what it is. I don't hate it. I don't love it. I just I don't mind it. If the home kit for me is a 3, this would be like a 3.5. Right? I don't hate it. I
Wild.
think it's okay. I think it's gonna be one of those ones like that pink one from 2 years ago, the red with the weird. I think it's gonna be like that. Once you see it on a player, I think it's gonna look better. Then again, I like the yellow one this year. So
Well, go watch a Lazio game and you can see what it looks like on players
you
because it's their colors. And here we get to the third, easily the best out of the bunch, lads.
this son of a bitch is
yeah.
a 10.
Easily.
Yeah. So
But there are patterns. Can you zoom in on this one? I think there. You
so
said there
there's
are patterns.
there's patterns of vines to represent the vineyards in the Piemonte region. You can faintly see them there as we zoom in.
Yeah.
The color, it comes out black here, but I don't think it's truly black. It's kind of like this burgundy, again sticking with this wine theme. It's supposed to be like a darker burgundy type of color. The actual logos I think are like a cream color, and you can even see on the collar there it's got a green line in there underneath the cream color one, but it's still going to be the best out of the bunch. This one for me is at a 7.5 with the potential when seeing it in person might actually be a 9 when we see it in person.
Yeah, that's word for word my answer.
Yeah.
7, possibly 8, 9. in
Yeah.
person.
And everybody in the chat seems the same. Solid 9, getting 7, 8, 8.5, 8. Adam likes the caller. Yeah, this is easily the best one. Skanga. Easily the best.
This is one I might actually buy, which is basically a 10 in my books if I want to buy it. Yeah.
Yeah. And I will definitely agree with Matt here. Yes, the obvious why this one is better than the 08. All right. And with that note, we are backing out of the kits because, yeah, we want to stay on the air. And we're going to get into Empoli, Juventus in the Coppa Italia now, okay? And for Empoli, we'll get things going here. Serie A form, a major concern for them. 6 defeats in their last 7 league matches. They have been free falling towards relegation, now sitting 2 points adrift of safety. Their latest 5-0 thrashing from Atalanta only worsened things for them, and in need of a desperate turnaround. All right, perfect opportunity for Juve to just thrash and move on into the semifinals of this competition. They could try to take a little bit encouragement from the fact that they have avoided defeat in 2 of the last 5 against Juve, but their defense has completely fallen apart. Okay, and it's going to take a big performance from them. They're also dealing with a bunch of injuries that are obviously going to play a part, and we'll get to their lineup in a bit here. You'll kind of see, but they have 5 long-term absentees already missing from their squad, and additionally, it'll be Viti, it'll be Ismaili that remain as doubts for this fixture, and that would make them even weaker at the back. And as far as guys coming back, Dino Angerin, who was linked with Juventus as a potential pickup back in January, he's going to be back in, and same with Fazzini. Luca Marianucci returns from a 2-match suspension, so they could take some positives there in that one. What we expect to see from Empoli is as follows. Let's get the kit down, and we'll pull up Empoli's lineup. There you go. Look at this. So if these players that are in doubt cannot make it in, you have Lord De Sciglio in the heart of the defense? What?
I'm putting big money on him scoring today.
What?
All chips are on him.
So there you see, you got Vasquez in goal, Goglicidze, De Sciglio, Cacace across the back, Chiesi, Henderson, Grassi, Pezzella, with Guame, Esposito, and Colombo rounding it out. 3-4-2-1. You know what that spells. That spells them trying to box up, very tight between the back line and, of course, mids. We should be controlling the ball a ton in this game and be able to impose our game. Hopefully, we can create a lot of chances like we did in the first half of our last matchup against a team that set up similarly. Got to be said. So that's what we're looking at for them, all right? When we get to Juve, well, everybody was wondering, injuries playing a part? Are we going to get some rest? We heard a lot of things. Alberto Costa could get into the lineup. Vasily Adzic could get into the lineup and start with this one. There could be a lot of space. We heard Gatti may be rested for one of Locatelli or Colt Miners to drop back next to Lloyd Braun. But apparently, no. Okay? Motta seems like he ain't taking any chances. He is going for it. It is a strong lineup. This particular lineup we're pulling up actually has some changes. Okay? This is one that we were getting, was put out there. Everybody thought it was going to go 4-4-2 because everybody had pretty much leaked that it was going to be Kolomuani and Vlahovic playing. There is a change there. There is a couple changes there in what we're expecting. And yes, Rui should not be expected to be out on that left side. Apparently, it is going to be Cambiaso. You're going to see Perin in goal. You will see Wea, Gatti, and Kelly. I think it's still in question at left back, but the majority are saying Cambiaso plays. Across the middle, Gonzalez is playing, but he's going to go out to a wing. And Kolomuani is expected to play as a winger in this one as well, with Vlahovic leading the line. The change is in the midfield. Imbangula will not is not expected to start this game, it's going to be Thuram, McKennie, and Locatelli as your midfield. And I don't expect it to be 4-3-3 even. I expect 4-2-3-1 like we've been doing. Kolomuani on the wing, Gonzalez on the wing, McKennie as your active 10, Locatelli, Thuram. So Motta's not taking chances really at all. Guys, what do you think with the starting lineup? We are actually slated to see the one I read out, 4-3-3. Kolomuani as one winger, Vlahovic up top, Gonzalez the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm more concerned about the players that are out, not the players that are in. Like I want him to rest anyone he can. Anyone he can. Like Wea doesn't need to be there, especially with how Empoli look and their injuries. You don't need Wea. Rest McKennie, even rest Gatti if you can. That the rest kind of picks itself. Yeah, let Alberto Costa play. McKennie, Locatelli, Coop Minor, not McKennie, Thuram, whatever. Just let the guys who need rest, let them rest.
Skanga, what do you think?
I think that exit in Champions League really put a big focus on Coppa Italia. Not that Coppa Italia wasn't a focus before, but I think that exit in the round of 16, I'm pretty sure the management said, all right, dumbass, you better go win this trophy. So I think it might be forcing his hand to say, okay, maybe he's swinging the pendulum too much on the fact like, okay, I got to play my top players to make sure we get through this leg. Now, if it was a 2-legged affair, I would disagree with this lineup. But since it's only one leg, this to me screams a little bit of not panic, but like I got to get this done.
If I'm looking at this, like Juve also will play their next game on Monday, so you get a decent break. They'll play Verona, I believe it is, on Monday. So Monday the 3rd, and then you play Atalanta on the Sunday. So you'll pretty much get a week after this one, or after Verona, and you got a good healthy break at 5 days until Verona. So all that considered, and you factor in how we're kind of playing, and I don't know if he's got the confidence to rotate too much and still believe that they get over the finish line. And I think with the Champions League exit, to go out in this one too, Motta was probably like, yeah, I can't go out in this one to Empoli, who's been brutal. But he might be battling this confidence thing in too much rotation. There are some guys that could be used and whatnot, but Serie A remains key and pivotal. We still need to understand what's going on with Kenan Yildiz, not getting starts, etc. Could he have started this game? Sure. Would I rather have him start against Verona? Yeah, I would. And I'm fine with Nico starting here, or even Mbangula if he was going to start. At the back line, I mean, if he wanted to drop back Cope Miners next to Kelly or even Locatelli, I would pick Locatelli first, but I think we could get away with it against Empoli. But is it an unnecessary risk? Kinda.
Right.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah, it is.
You know?
It absolutely is.
Yeah, so for me, I don't really have any problems. And he's taken this thing with no chances, and honestly, I get it. Because I would shit on him. I would give him a lot of heat if he bowed out in this one. Semi-final, a must. We have a nice path. You're going to face Bologna if you get by Empoli today, which you should. You're going to face Bologna in 2 legs to get into the final. I'm expecting a final appearance from Juve, period. So
I didn't realize the game. Our next game was on Monday. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
Is that game at home?
So that's a good rest period.
Yeah, it's at home.
It is at home.
So
I'm all for this. I don't need to see all that rotation. Yes, it sucks for like a guy like Alberto Costa, etc. But we'll see them when the time comes. We'll see them when the time comes. Right now for Costa, I don't think they expected, because everyone's asking me about him. They think I'm seriously like committed to this player. Guys, I just think it's cool that I could put Alberto on the back of a kit. It's funny. It's cool. But this guy, we might have without the Weah thing happening, probably would have got more minutes, and I think nobody really saw it coming. He's become just a pure safety net. We'll see him whenever the time's right. As far as Adzic goes, I think Adzic definitely needs to enter this game with a healthy amount of minutes to see, because that's the one role you seem unwilling to give to Yildiz. And Yildiz has also said that he likes the 1v1 situations out on the wing. So maybe it's a combination of both of them. But Adzic, I want to see good, healthy run of minutes in this game, because maybe he can help you at that role, since that's his spot naturally too. Just let's see it. Let's stop wondering.
Well, the players haven't given Motta, any vote of confidence in second halves to say, you know what, we're playing well enough that this game is locked down. Let's bring in an Adzic, or let's mix things up. So maybe that's on Motta as well. You can throw excuses around all you want, but the team hasn't allowed themselves the luxury to bring in an Adzic for 35 minutes.
Yeah, but the guy, he didn't play a lot in general. I was all for him getting demoted to the next gen. Now he has some minutes in him, and he played very well for next gen. So now I'm more interested in seeing him. Up until now, he was kind of nothing. And to be fully honest, Motta needs to get everyone going. It's crunch time of the season. We need everyone in form. If you can't find minutes with the first team, go play for next gen. Go do whatever you need, but get everyone in form. We can't be forcing playing Alberto in a few weeks' time because Weah suddenly got injured and there's basically no one. If it is going to happen,
and there has been some forcing going, because you've seen Savona that's got an injury. Now he's got another injury on top of that, and he's out even longer. And it's what did you think was going to happen? I can't help to think in my mind that's because his body's trying to compensate for a different injury, and usually that's what happens. You aggravate something else. It was silly. It was silly and out of position.
I thought Alberto Costa was. I think I've said this before. I thought he was supposed to go to next gen for a stint because he is young, and then he was going to come up. I thought
we pulled him in immediately after the Danilo goodbye, and he's a right back by trade. And he's impressing everyone in training. Everyone that's seen him is just even fans that go to those fan open training sessions are just man, this guy's incredible. There's a rumor today talking about Motta hasn't used him because he's trying to get him accustomed to the defensive side of things. Bullshit. He played Lloyd Kelly out at left back with no fear. The guy literally just got off a train. No, that's bullshit. He's not playing him because Weah is balling out. Flat out. I think it comes down to the Weah thing, because otherwise at this point, we could also say, send him to next gen to get minutes, because otherwise he would have been better off staying out on loan. If you wanted to buy the kid, if you believed in him that much, keep him out on loan. But he meant to come in as a piece we could use, but Weah has emerged as our top right back option.
I would rather see him. First of all, Weah needs a rest. We've seen it in the last match. He needs a rest. And I would rather see him not out of necessity. Not only when we have to play him, there are no other options. That's when we get to see him. My guess is that we'll see him today. Maybe not starting, but he will play today.
I think he will come off the bench for his first thing. I don't think he's getting a start. And I honestly would have been okay with him starting if that's the call. If they had the confidence to play him in a one-off knockout game, absolutely, I'd be all for it, and I'd be pumped to see it. But it is exactly that, a one-off knockout game. And you know what? Malta's, whatever you want to call it, rep with the fan base, etc., after what happened Champions League, you can't bow out, you can't take any chances. He is taking no chances. And that's where we're at.
Do we have said the Tony?
Set the Tony. We are going to set the Tony. I got the key stats leading up to it. Juve have won 80% of their home matches against Empoli in Serie A history, showcasing their superiority in Turin. Their most recent meeting ended in a 4-1 victory for the Bianconeri earlier this month. Empoli have conceded 18 goals in their last 5 matches across all competitions. That is insanity, okay? The Bianconeri have reached at least the semifinals in 5 of the last 6 Coppa Italias. All right, and while historically dominated by Juve, Empoli have only lost 2 of their last 5. So again, there's all your key stats, heavily in favor of the Bianconeri. Set the Tony.
I have some stats too, but after Tony.
Yes, we'll set the Tony, and then Omer's going to talk about the matchup too.
All right, so today's referee is Francesco Forno. Sounds like a French name, but he's actually an Italian dude. 40 years old, young. He's young. You know, that's a pretty average age for these referees, but he hasn't done a lot of games. He's done 80 Serie B games, 49 Serie A games, and 7 Coppa Italia games. So in the Serie B games, right on average, 5.5 yellows, 27 reds, so that's a 34% clip, 22 PKs, so 28% Serie A, 20%. He did 10 reds in 49 games, 19 PKs in 49 games, 40%. But Coppa Italia, he's only done 7 matches, 3 yellows per game, 1 PK, no red. So, but he has done 4 of our matches in the past. 2-1 win to Lecce, May 2023. 1-0 win at home, March 2022. 4-1 win Coppa Italia, January 2022, and an away win to Salernitana. So he's only done wins for us. This will be the 5th time he does a match for us, and we've won the previous 4.
There
handily.
We go. Omer, before we get into the prediction challenge, let's go.
Okay, so we covered most of the Empoli stats. Just add they lost their last 4 matches, conceding 14 goals and scoring 1. They scored that one against Juve. And tons of injuries. They eliminated Fiorentina in the previous round after a 2-2 draw and a 4-3 win on penalties. Let's go to Juve. Juve have won 5 out of the last 6, scoring 11 goals by 6 different players. 4 of those goals came against Empoli. The teams have clashed 34 times in their history. Juve have dominated this matchup with 24 wins, 5 losses, and 5 draws. Juventus have scored 71 goals, averaging 2.08 goals per match, while Empoli have scored 25 goals, averaging 0.7 goals per match. Juventus' top goal scorer against Empoli are Trezeguet with 11, Del Piero with 8. Next up, Vlahovic with 4, and Keane and Iaquinta both standing on 3. Tons of guys with 2 goals, including Colomwani. And if he scores today, he gets into the top 5. If he scores a brace, he gets into the top 3. And that's after 1 month at the club. So, Amwani brace incoming today. The highest scoring match between the 2 teams came at the Coppa Italia round of 16 second leg in the 2007-8 season, where Juventus won 5-3 at home after losing 2-1 in the first leg, 6-5 aggregate. Juventus' biggest loss to Empoli came 2 years ago, when the FIGC decided to deduct Juve points for the second time that season and announced it 10 minutes before kickoff. Juventus dropped down 4 spots in the table before a ball was kicked in the match.
Instant agita.
We did the post game for that.
I have it in for them. Like every time we meet them, I want to kick their ass because they were celebrating and enjoying that win, and like it wasn't deserved. You were beating a dead dog, basically.
Yeah, fuck them. Today, we beat the piss out of them. It's time for the prediction challenge. Final score, 2 tiebreakers, and then we're going to hit Storm the Barn hard here. Everybody, reminder, get those likes up. Take a second, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It's your one-stop shop for everything Juventus. And who wants to kick us off with predictions?
I'm ready to go.
Okay,
Fire away, Tony.
Rock, paper, scissors. I win.
So
Juventus are heavy favorites for here. Minus 430 for a win. Empoli is plus 1100 to win. There's no excuses. Heavy favorites today. I am going to go with a 3-1 win. So I got my goal scorers are Thuram at plus 430, Colomwani at plus 110. I had Chico at plus 210. I think he's going to come in off the bench and score one since he's not starting. Both teams' score is plus 116. By the way, the 3-1 win is plus 1,000. I'm going to make another bet which kind of contradicts my score of 3-1 win. I'm going to take Juventus at -2.5. So I think they're going to win by 3 goals as well. Like, I think it could be a 4-1 win. So I'm going to go. I'm sticking with the 3-1, but I'm also taking Juventus -2.5 at +225.
Okay.
I think they're going to blow the doors off this team today.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my guess will be Juve score 4 again, but this time they don't concede. Moani gets into that top 3 and scores a brace. Vlahovic gets 1 and also joins the guys at 3rd place. Oh, sorry, he's already there. So never
Bingo,
mind.
Tuna. Let's ride, baby.
So
I
1
like
and
it.
3. And I like the Thuram one, so I'm going with the Thuram for another goal. And Alberto Costa gets at least 5 minutes today.
Oh,
All right.
don't pull a hamstring.
Okay. Well, we got 3-0, we got 2-0s, we got 4-2s, we got 4-0, we got 4-1, we got 3-1s. We got a 1-1 draw that'll go into deciding a winner, by the way. Gotta have
Go
a winner.
straight to PKs, right?
I believe it's straight to PKs in Coppa Italia.
Yep.
Now,
Yeah, it is.
for this game, I am going.
Do it.
First half
Do it.
score 2-0 Juve. Okay?
Nice.
So we will be up by 2 in the first half. We will score and add another one to win this game 3-0. We're not going to let these clowns score again. We're going to take care of business. I like the lineup. I like the fact we're not fucking around. We need to advance. You need to reach that semifinal. It's lined up for you in the bracket, like I said, with Bologna to get to the final, and that's what we're going to do, okay? As far as these guys, they're shambles at the back. Again, 18 goals in like 5 matches. What are we talking about? Beat the wheels off these guys. You got Kolomuani and Vlahovic both playing up top to start. Let's go. The midfield, love the midfield. McKennie has at least been killing himself for the cause. He might not have the traits we need in the 10, but he at least has more than enough of the work rate. Locatelli and Thuram, absolute locks. Been our best pivots all year long. Gatti and Kelly. Kelly is not a left back, I can assure you of that, but he can get the job done and definitely do it next to Gatti. Weah, absolute beast. Left back, let's see what happens. If Rui's out there, expect a little bit of pinball going on, but we could still manage to get by that. I agree, Adzic gets in this game at some point, and maybe Costa too, like Omer said, but I think Adzic gets in to this one. If we're going to talk about my goal scorers, I'm going to say Vlahovic gets 1 and Kolomuani gets 1, and they each score 1 out of those 2 goals in the first half, and then in the second, it'll be one of the midfielders. I'm going to give it to McKennie. So 3-0. There you go. Boom. Boom. And then we can give Empoli one of these and say, Bologna, we're coming for your ass next. Let's go. Giddy up.
Yeah, it's been a while. I told you guys in the green room, it's been a while since I've seen a goal scorer that's -110 to score. Vlahovic is a favorite to score today.
Yeah.
So
he's reached the negative for the odds there and stuff. So that's I don't think I've ever seen that for anybody. So there you go.
pretty rare.
There you go. Now, Storm the Barn. Gonna get into it again. Remind everybody, take a second, hit that like button. All right, Adam, most unlikable player now or all time, like for Juve or just football in general, because I can give you a laundry list of football in general.
Yeah, for Juve, for me it's Felipe Melo. Absolutely hated that guy. I hate him till this day. So yeah, that's an easy one for me.
Oh, I could not stand Inzaghi.
And Paulson is a close second.
I would have rather clawed my eyes out than watch Inzaghi play another season at Juventus.
Inzaghi. Paredes,
Couldn't
man, I
stand him.
fucking hate that guy. I hated him. I always hated him. When we signed him, I was like, why are we bringing this mutt here? Like, can't stand the guy. And Paredes, named here by Matt. Tuna steaks as well.
Tuna.
Yeah, Paredes. I always had this thing with Zabina, too, that I just couldn't stand the guy. Drove me nuts, but not to that degree. Outside of Juve's world, Materazzi and Jaap Stam. I always hated Jaap fucking Stam, man. Like, just couldn't stand
Really, I
the
liked
prick.
him.
Man,
I liked him.
I couldn't stand
Yeah.
And Rio Ferdinand, couldn't stand the guy. Couldn't stand the guy.
Side
Mine
note,
is Nainggolan and Cassano.
9 goal and Casano. There you go.
Yeah, because they can't
Skanga?
stop talking about Juve to this day.
who's that Portuguese defender I always complain about that always shuts us down with Porto? What's his name?
Pepe?
The old guy. Yes.
Pepe.
I can't stand him.
Fucking Jesus.
Yeah.
God damn. Okay. So
Guy's a fucking
the
cartoon
last game,
character.
the last game this guy did, the referee did for us was the Juve Lecce match, May 3rd, 2023. Paredes was scored in that match with Dusan for a 2-1 win, and Paredes was the highest rated player in that game. Side note.
He scored a free kick.
How the hell do you even remember that?
Well, there was only one. You want another stat? People are talking about the Shilio trio here.
Does
Hat-trick today.
DeCilio
So if he
score
does
today?
that,
Yes.
yeah. So people
You
are
think he
saying
scores today?
hat-trick.
Yeah. I'm putting money on
You
it.
know,
Man,
he'll
that guy
equal his
scored.
all-time.
He's
3 goals.
literally that goal he scored against us was what, his third goal ever?
Yeah.
He's not
0
scoring.
for Milan, 2 for
He's not
Juve.
scoring.
Mm-hmm.
He's not scoring today. Berto, can you keep wearing the pink jerseys with the start for Serie A matches? Maybe it's a new lucky charm. I did wear a pink one the last time because Lex requested. Hey, I tell you what, let's see how this game goes. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's the trick. Tuna. Hindsight is 2020, but which transfer has been more of a bust? Louise or Cope Miners? Could we have used Barnechea or Illing this season more so knowing what we know now?
No.
I think it's no for both of them. And now, as we discussed, Luis is more of a bust than Coop.
Yeah.
Because Coop at least gets in the rotation.
At least Coop is available. You
Yeah.
know, he might have the flu every fucking time he needs to be subbed out, but at least he's available. Illing and Barnechea, no. Wouldn't have played
Illing
a
was
part.
sold and then loaned again. So what are we even talking about?
Yeah,
And
Illing's
Barnechea is
Illing's
even
going
lower
on 4
than-
teams in one season or some shit.
Yeah,
Almost like just
Barnechea
loan.
is I mean, Fagioli and Hans, if they didn't get a chance, he wouldn't have either.
Yeah,
Cough
go
miners.
that one. Ciao from Australia, boys. What's up? Hypothetical,
time is
where
it?
do you think we would be if Bremer was fit for the season? Exactly where my expectations were for this team amongst the top 2.
Yeah,
Easily.
we would have been.
Yeah.
So we have 13 draws. You take 5 of those away, make those wins. That's 10 points. We're 2 points ahead of Inter.
We
Say we'd
have-
be there, but just like shift
Four-
some of those games. We're in the hunt.
What are we at? 14 to 17 points lost from winning positions? You're telling me Bremer
Yeah.
doesn't account for close to half of that if he's in there? We definitely
Even
get
half.
through half of those.
Even half, we're right there.
Yeah. So I think we would be right where I would have this team, which is fighting in the top 2 spots. And it's honestly, it drives me nuts to think about how many points we pissed away from winning position, because that is the difference. And it's funny because nobody in Serie A has been convincing. Absolutely nobody.
That's
And
helping. That's helping
it-
as well. Yeah.
It's like it's creating this thing where this is why fans are so all over the place. It's just a bizarre season. We've been unconvincing,
Mhm.
and the league has been unconvincing as a whole. It by no means feels like we should only be 8 points out of the hunt.
It feels like we
it
should be 25.
It just feels like we're no, and the reality of it, we're also 3 points from being fucking like 8th or something,
Yes.
or 7th or something stupid like that. It's a weird feeling. It's like you get a few wins in a row. The first time we've got 4 in a row in league this season, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh fuck, we're back. We can make this run. It's like, well, one game at a time, because just nobody is convincing at this point.
The reason why I think we can make a run is not because of us, it's because of everybody else. Everybody else just no one is taking the league and running away with it. Everyone
Well,
is tripping up.
Inter are playing both Napoli and Atalanta in like the next 2 weeks.
Yes.
Those are the other 2 teams. So you have a very good chance. I mean, we play Atalanta as well, but you have a very good chance of just skipping up the table with just basic wins. I mean, they still have to face each other. They have a tougher schedule than ours. Juve can make some moves here and find themselves in second place accidentally.
The thing is that applying that to the other teams applies to us too. There's just nobody that's convincing. We have to win
Yeah.
out practically. Like you can afford one draw in there in the rest of the game. So it's like, again, going to our confidence level, fuck, I would love it. And this would probably be up there for one of the best Scudetti ever. I actually think I could probably claim it the best one ever because it would be. Would it be as unexpected as 2011-12?
2011-12.
That was super unexpected for me.
Yeah, but we held it in there for the last. I think we won it like 2 matches or 3 matches to the end of the season. But we were up there all season long, and we beat Milan early. And that season, I mean, there were different feelings. You were doing great in general, and then it only improved. And this one feels a lot more like luck. Let's call it luck. I mean, we have our issues, but you look at the other teams; they have
Nobody's
tons
running
of
away
issues
with
as
it.
well.
This thing,
Yeah.
like it's really.
I know
Yeah.
Matt's saying here in 2011 because of where we were coming from. Well, are we coming from that much worse of a place? Like we had points deducted 2 years ago. We were in whatever position last year. Like we're not coming off a Scudetto win 2 years ago. Like it's been a while since we won one. So maybe let's just one game at a time.
Yeah, one game at a
All
time.
teams
That's all
have
I say,
issues.
one game at a time. But I'm not,
Well,
and
teams
this
might
is
have
the other part of the whole thing too. I've gotten my hopes up a lot this season just to get slapped in the face by like a brutal showing or performance. That's why I'm just, hey, right here. Let's see what happens.
I'm not looking at the Scudetto right now. It's
No.
not an objective now.
No.
No,
Absolutely
let's take
not.
care
A
of
lot
business.
needs
Right
to
now
happen.
it's Empoli and then it's Verona. And that's the way we go. That's the way we go. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves. Unfortunately, everybody, work calls. I will not be able to do a watch along today, but I appreciate that you guys enjoyed a lot. And, you're one of the best at it. Actually talk about what's going on in the game and give play-by-play. Do a great job. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I always love doing those, and I'm glad everybody enjoys it. So, and yes, there was a cameo at the end of the last one by my daughters. And spoken like someone without kids here, Giratina70 saying, you should watch a game with your daughters. That would be a nightmare because everything in this office would be taken off the desk and everything all over the place. And no, that would be a nightmare. But it was cool to get them on at the end. They just wanted their bouncy castle set up. And they were like, enough with the Storm the Barns. Let's go. Hey, let's go. And you know what? That bouncy castle was awesome. I had to get in there. Come on. What are we talking about here?
100%.
There was definitely a Macho Man Randy Savage elbow drop off the top, okay? But the 3-year-old took it like a champ. So now we get to who gets a preliminary day today. Yeah, so actually we do have to do that because we give it to Yari Mina last game, and he was the one that coughed it up for Vlahovic to go in and capitalize. So let's take a look at this and just say that this is the projected lineup for them. Who are we going to give a preliminary day to on Empoli's lineup? Is it going to be Lord DeScilio? Is he going to have to be the one that gets it?
You leave him out of this, you son of a bitch. All right? You leave him alone. He was a good
I think immediately I go to him. But Omer, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree with who was it? Mele is not here in the lineup, but the guy who got red carded with the headband, he might deserve the Cristante, not the regular take.
He's a mutt, that guy, 100% Mali, but he's not listed to be on here. Again, this is just SofaScore's projection. Maybe he's out there. It might have to be DeScilio.
Fair enough.
I tell you what, though, if Goglichidze starts, that guy's a disaster. And I'm just going to say Goglichidze, because also your name's a nightmare. And I don't like it much. So there's the preliminary today. Goglichidze. DeScilio, I spared you that one, okay? But Male, the mutt, we gave it to him last one. That was good. Best and worst names of Juve players ever.
Oh, I have one for Inter. Name for Juve player.
Best and worst names. Where does
Well, I don't know about you.
Lanzafama rank?
Oh, Lanzafame is an awful name.
Terrible name.
What they call him? The new Ronaldo? I remember seeing an
Lanzafame.
article of the new Ronaldo. Yeah.
What game
a
were we
guy.
watching? I can't remember what game it was. It wasn't a Juventus player, but his last name is Cow. Who was that?
Vaca. That's our guy. That's
Yeah.
our young guy. Vaca.
Yes, that's the worst one.
Alessio
last name is-
Vaca.
Yeah, he's part of our next gen or whatever. Yeah.
Fucking just
Yes.
scores. Can't wait for Vaca to join the top team and score so we could just throw that out there when he bags one.
Yeah, I agree with Gio here.
I take it back. I take it back. Yes, bring him to the first team.
Oh, yeah, that's
him
one
to
of
the
the
first
best, man. What are you talking about? Imagine the whole curva. He just scores and they all moo like cows. Give me that.
If they
Give me
make
that.
if they make
Well,
a banner
if-
that's just a cow head that covers the whole curva, that would be amazing.
Well, they don't meow for Gatti, so I don't expect them to move.
Oh, the meowing.
The meow kills me. Yeah. Love
Yeah.
Gattone, but the meow kills me. But Vaca, I could get behind a goal and a big fucking moo.
100%.
Let's go. Let's go. Some of the best ones, I always love Mandzukic, man. That's just a badass name. Come on, what are we talking
Mando?
about?
Yeah.
Mandzukic. Camoranesi is a great name. Moro
Tough to pronounce.
Camoranesi.
Mauro
I don't know if
Germán
people-
Camoranesi.
I haven't
Say the
pronounced
full name.
27's name in a couple weeks just because it's a pain in the ass. I don't want to deal with it.
Roberto Baggio, great name. Alessandro Del Piero. Guys, I told you guys a story that I was in high school. These guys saw my kit and they were in a band and they were just like, what's this all about? I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, it's the team I follow and support in Italy. Del Piero. And they're like, Del Piero. And I was like, yeah, Alessandro Del Piero. They're like, that name is sick. And they wrote a metal song for Alessandro Del Piero just based on his name because they were like, that name is sick. And it was,
I
it
like
was pretty cool. Song sucked.
like-
They weren't good by any means, but it was cool that they did that, and it just shows you it's a great name.
Yeah, I liked Alan Boksic. I think that's an awesome name.
Yeah,
And,
Boksic.
and who else? I think Zinedine Zidane is an awful name.
What? I love it.
Awful name.
Yeah, I'm kind of
That's an
on
awful
Berto's
name.
side with this one.
I love it, man. Zinedine Zidane. Oh,
Lichtsteiner sounds like a beer that's too hoppy. I agree with that one.
fucking too much hops, man. Too
Yeah.
hoppy. But Lichtsteiner
Yeah.
just makes me go to what movie was it? Derelict, Zoolander. Every time Lichtsteiner comes up. Speaking of movie quotes that came up last time.
Jacobi
Derelict.
Mugato. Yeah.
Now,
What a
do you
movie.
guys? We got to get off. This one's great, though. By the way, do you guys see Juve realistically winning the Champions League in the next 15 years? I fucking hope so. I mean, but
God, I'm running out of life. Yeah, I need yes.
I'm
I
running
need
out
it
of
sooner than
life.
later. I'm running short on time here. I need one.
All I'm
I need
gonna say
another-
to this is, I see no reason why we can't get back to being contenders. We're just in a cycle where we kind of lost ourselves, and we had a lot of shit off the pitch that was affecting the pitch. And people have to put that together. It's like you don't have just problems in the office and big problems, and it doesn't affect the pitch. It affects everything. So there's nothing stopping us from getting back to at least being like mainstays in certain phases of the competition. And then from there, you see. But do we see us realistically winning it? I mean, I see us realistically getting back to contender status. I do. So from there, I mean, sure. Let's see. Maybe if we were on better terms with Pogba and he had that little fucking voodoo doll, we can maybe voodoo a championship. Who knows? Who knows? About the injuries, Barcelona seemed to have done specific tests for Pedri, who was injury prone. And all of a sudden, he is playing week in and week out. I believe the board should do the same. I never actually heard about this.
No, he didn't have tons of injuries. I attribute some of those to he was a 17-year-old kid who got played way too much by both Barca and the Spanish national team. And no, he was still a kid. It's not a schedule for a kid, but they were running him to the ground.
I'm curious
And
as to
I
what
know
the
they did.
specific testing is, though, to like
I know
stop
they did the
somebody from being
same
injury
with.
prone.
I know they did the same with Messi back in the day when he was very young. Like he started shining, and then he had some injury issues and needs some growth hormones or whatever because it was still too weak. Like his body haven't
Always comes
evolved
back
yet.
to the juice.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's just
Apparently
start
it was
drugging players
legal.
again. Let's just drug players.
Is the
Yeah.
board acknowledging that
Who's the
there's
best
something
junkie?
wrong going on? A team in my country had the same issue. The new owner came out and said, there's an issue and we are trying to solve it. And right now, they have less and less injuries after they've come in. I mean, I don't understand it. I just don't understand.
The first step is admitting that you have a problem. And
Yes.
you find that out in any AA meeting. Not that I've been to one, but Juventus doesn't want to admit that they have a problem.
Yeah, I don't get
There's a
it. Like
problem.
it's Jerry of 51 now. Nobody wants to talk about it, but there's a problem. There's a big problem there. Okay, it's the Bermuda
What
fucking
problem?
Triangle. Okay,
What problem? What are you talking about?
the injuries, man.
Nothing wrong. I see nothing wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's on the German kit.
Yeah.
It says all of a sudden there's nothing wrong. Look at this guy.
No, we don't want to
Yeah.
talk about it. So it makes me wonder what else is going on at J Medical. You know, I think the newest leak of the away kit is better than the one you showed. It's not as training kit like that. Is literally the same leak photo.
I thought that was the latest one. Yeah.
It is.
Unless there's one out today.
No, these are them. These are them. I don't know what you're looking at, but I'm guarantee you it's better than that one if it looks different. Dushan keeps this attitude and form throughout the rest of the season. Keep or sell. Well, we kind of got into that. If anybody would be open to it, if he could fix that contract, and seems like more are open to it. I bet you the split would be pretty close. I think it's hard to just get certain feelings and decisions out of your mind. If you've written somebody off, it's really tough to go back on that. That's just the reality. And a lot of fans are just there, and I get it. I get it.
I think the player's there too. I think he's out.
You think we will be alive when Juve wins the next Champions League? Oh, yeah. Fuck, I
What are
hope
we,
so.
Napoli?
Fucking hope so. I don't know. Like, Skanga's already made it 186 years, you guys. Okay?
I am riding a fine line here, but I think I'm younger than Skippy. Because Skippy threw out his age here. I'm pretty sure I'm younger than Skippy. So, but me and him, we have a problem. Me and Skippy.
Let's ask the question: who's the oldest guy in the army?
The oldest guy in the army. We're going to get the army to drop their ages. I like that because there's always us dropping our age and then all of a sudden get shit on. Yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
How old are you?
Yeah.
Drop it in the chat. Let's go.
And if you're less than 50, you're already out. Don't bother.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Let's
see
go.
Skippy. Me and Skippy, you don't have to say your age, but I know what your age is. Me and you, we have a problem for the next Champions League.
Is Skippy
We
the oldest
might
in
not
the
be able
army?
to hear the TV.
54.
Yeah, see.
54.
Yeah, Skippy's the oldest.
29.
Yeah,
We got a 30.
Mhm.
Yeah, Skippy might be the one.
What's the name of the guy we had back in the day, very early on? Remember him? He was always here.
43. We got Seshko to 1897. 43. He's 17. 29s. We got some 29s. We got a 55 from Ramo.
Oh, there we
Take
go.
Skippy down.
Wow.
God, if I could be
55.
17 again, I would scorch
48,
this fucking earth
44s,
like that.
25s. You know what? This is awesome, actually. Look at the difference in there, too.
Look at the
It's
spread,
awesome.
man.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I would give
Berto,
my
who was
left
that
nut
guy?
to be- I'd give my
Was
left
he
nut
here
to be
every show?
28 again.
Who was what, Omer?
Who's the guy who was here every show and his grandson tuned him into the channel? And he was here like
he passed
first
away,
one
that
in the
guy.
He
chat.
passed
The guy,
away.
the guy in
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
so
Ron
he was the old-
Rositano passed away in mid-September
No.
of 23.
Not Rositano. Not Rositano. We had another guy here. I haven't seen him in
was-
like a year. I have to go back to an old show.
Yeah, he got his grandson. I know what you're saying. I can't remember who it is, but he got his grandson, and they watch it together.
Yeah. His grandson tuned him into the channel, and then he became like just
Oh!
a number one listener.
Yes.
I forgot his name.
Yes. I'm trying to think. Oh my god. This is gonna haunt me today. It's gonna be one of those ones that'll come to me when I'm eating my lunch, and it'll just be like, that's the name. It's all good though. But that's cool to see.
Just to answer Yokwin's, 28 is when I tore my ACL the first time. I would go back to pre-ACL 28. I would scorch this fucking earth on the football field, at the pubs, in work, in life. I would not go to sleep because I know how tired I am now.
I'm still waiting for my damn surgery. Okay, this is Canada. This is Canadian healthcare. Everybody, I'm still waiting. Okay, shocking stuff. I had to reach out to my surgeon and say, "Yo, what's going on here? I know you got the results. That MRI was 5 weeks ago. What do we do it? I got plans. Need my wheels. Need my wheels ready to go." Anyways, painful, but that's where it's at. Some people were wondering. I haven't done anything. I'm still waiting. Sucks. But you guys,
my knees are
watch
fine.
along today. That name will come to me, and I'm sure I'll have it for the post-match tomorrow. We do have a post-match show tomorrow. Let's make it a victory show. Let's beat the crap out of Empoli, okay? And take care of business and get to the semifinals. And then we'll meet Bologna. And won't that be interesting for a lot of different reasons? Oh, yeah. That'll be good. That'll be good. But for now, everybody, enjoy the match. We might miss 2 watch-alongs. I just thought about it because Monday with Verona. Sick day. That one might be a sick day because the league's...
Yeah, I think you're going to be sick on that day.
Extend the weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. That's always my favorite as opposed to Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I've worked the Friday, take the Monday. Way better. Way better. That's probably the play. You guys, been a pleasure. Skanga, Omer, always. And everybody in the chat, love you. Take care. Drop a like. And of course, fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Take care of business today. You saw the predictions. We're expecting a victory. Don't fuck this up. Let's go, lads. Come on.